Mara stood at the edge of the dense Amazon canopy, listening to the unnatural silence that had replaced the usual cacophony of birds and insects, noticing how the air seemed to hum faintly as if vibrating with an unseen presence. Her notebook clutched tightly while shadows shifted in impossible angles, a soft golden light emerging between colossal trees that had stood untouched for centuries, the scent of damp earth mixing with something metallic and unfamiliar. Mara's pulse quickened as she realized she was not alone in the jungle. The ground beneath her boots shivered subtly, and the ancient warning of forgotten creatures seemed to echo in her mind, compelling her deeper into the verdant maze of life and death. Everywhere Mara looked, enormous footprints appeared in the mud as if leading her toward the unknown heart of the jungle. Each step unnaturally precise and perfectly spaced, vibrating faintly with an energy she could feel through her soles. The air thickened and sounds of distant waterfalls distorted strangely. Shadows flickered in time with her heartbeat. Birds circled silently above yet refused to land. Mara followed the path cautiously, sensing intelligence behind the markings, and whispered to herself that this could only be a creature long erased from memory but still alive, waiting for the right moment to reveal itself, or perhaps testing her resolve before revealing its presence. Mara caught a fleeting glimpse of something enormous moving between the trees, its massive form half hidden by shadows, its skin shimmering like wet stone under the diffused sunlight, eyes that glowed faintly amber observing her silently from the distance. She froze yet could not look away as the creature's powerful limbs carried it effortlessly over fallen trunks and vines, each movement radiating primal intelligence. Her breath caught in awe and fear simultaneously, and she realized that this beast had survived unnoticed for centuries, a living relic from a world before humans dominated the jungles, silently judging her intrusion into its domain. The creature paused atop a fallen tree trunk, emitting low guttural vibrations that reverberated through Mara's body and seemed to awaken the entire jungle around her, leaves quivering as if alive, the air thickening with the scent of moss and ancient stone. Mara's recorder captured faint harmonic frequencies that did not resemble any known animal communication. Faint spectral silhouettes of creatures long gone shimmered in the corners of her vision, and she felt a deep connection as if the forest itself was revealing hidden memories through the presence of this beast, urging her to understand the jungle's forgotten secrets before proceeding further into the unknown expanse of green shadows. Mara discovered a clearing ringed by enormous ancient stones carved with glyphs, each glowing faintly in colors that pulsed in rhythm with her heartbeat, and she realized this ground was a sacred nexus for creatures of the forest, a place where time itself seemed to fold and weave together with the life force of the jungle. Vines twisted unnaturally, as if forming pathways only visible to those who understood the forest's ancient code. The air shimmered with energy that made her skin tingle and her hair lift slightly, and from the corner of her eye, she saw shadows moving in patterns that suggested the beast had been here before, using this sacred ground to communicate or honor some ancient law, compelling Mara to record everything with reverent precision. Mara felt eyes watching her from all directions as the jungle seemed to hold its breath, the giant creature now appearing from behind massive roots, moving with deliberate grace and intelligence. She noticed small tracks appearing simultaneously, forming an intricate network around her. The energy in the clearing pulsed like a heartbeat, whispering untold stories of survival and coexistence, and she realized this creature was not merely wild but a guardian, its presence enforcing the balance of the forest, each vibration of its movement weaving itself into the ancient life patterns of flora and fauna, leaving Mara both humbled and exhilarated at the same time. The air thickened as Mara placed her hand on one of the ancient stones, feeling energy surge through her palm, visions of extinct creatures flashing before her eyes, entire ecosystems rising and falling in moments. The cryptid moved closer without threatening, its form massive yet delicate in motion, and Mara understood that the forest itself was alive, speaking in the language of time and survival. Each rustle of leaves forming words she could feel more than hear. The golden mist intensified, swirling around both human and beast as if acknowledging her presence, leaving Mara awestruck by the raw and profound intelligence that had survived the centuries. The cryptid stepped closer, its amber eyes locking with Mara's as if weighing her intentions. The jungle seemed to lean in, the vines swaying rhythmically, the distant sound of flowing water warping and echoing unnaturally. Mara felt the weight of centuries of survival pressing upon her shoulders. Her hands shook slightly, but she maintained eye contact, silently promising respect and discretion. The creature tilted its head and emitted a low harmonic sound resonating through the clearing. Mara understood that this was both greeting and test, and she had to prove that humanity could be trusted in the sacred heart of the forgotten forest. Mara followed a narrow path that twisted through colossal ferns and moss-covered roots, each step revealing hidden carvings glowing faintly as if alive, whispers of forgotten wildlife echoing through the dense canopy. Sunlight fractured into golden beams that illuminated subtle movements in the shadows. She realized this path was intentionally designed to lead intruders toward understanding rather than harm. The air pulsed rhythmically with energy she could almost breathe, and the beast moved, silently behind her, a protective sentinel observing every hesitation, guiding her deeper into the heart of the jungle, where secrets older than civilization awaited. At the center of the jungle, Mara discovered an ancient stone temple half swallowed by vegetation, its walls etched with pictographs that shimmered faintly with the pulse of unseen life. The giant creature resting nearby with watchful amber eyes, vines entwining with carvings as though the forest itself had fused with the structure. A low harmonic vibration resonated through Mara's chest, revealing hidden chambers beneath the floor. The air thickened with history and energy, and she sensed that every step she took here was both an exploration and a negotiation with the jungle's long-hidden rulers, urging her to move carefully and listen to the stories embedded in the stones. As night fell, the temple glowed faintly under bioluminescent plants, shadows stretching into long shapes that seemed alive. Mara lit a small lamp while the forest seemed to lean closer, and she felt the pulse of the jungle's heartbeat syncing with her own. The giant creature moving silently along the perimeter, small nocturnal animals emerging without fear, the wind carrying the scent of wet earth and distant rain. She realized that this night vigil was a communion, a chance for the forest to reveal its guardians, and Mara whispered a silent promise to protect and honor the hidden lives and ancient knowledge she had now become a part of. Suddenly, the harmonic vibrations intensified, resonating from deep beneath the temple floor. Mara felt them in her bones as spectral lights began swirling around the walls. The cryptid's eyes glowed brighter as it emitted low-frequency growls harmonized with the vibrations. Ancient trees around the temple bending slightly as if bowing. The air shimmered with every pulse, and Mara understood this was a signal, awakening all dormant guardians of the jungle. A reminder that she had entered a living ecosystem older and wiser than humanity itself, demanding reverence, focus, and utmost caution before continuing her exploration. Mara discovered a hidden door at the temple base, covered in intricate glyphs that responded to her touch with a faint glow, the cryptid watching silently as if waiting for permission. She felt a pull like gravity guiding her into the unknown chamber, air thick with centuries of untouched history and subtle chemical scents of moss and stone. Inside, she saw murals depicting beasts interacting with humans in harmony, every stroke alive with movement, the harmonic energy filling the chamber, resonating like a heartbeat with her own. And Mara realized she had stumbled upon the lost history of an intelligent jungle ecosystem preserved by creatures long forgotten. Inside the chamber, Mara experienced a mental connection with the cryptid, visions of the forest's evolution, extinct creatures, and natural cycles flashing in her mind. The low harmonic vibrations carrying meaning beyond words. She understood the creature's intelligence was intertwined with the jungle itself, respecting balance, life, and survival, and that the whispers and echoes she had heard since entering were the forest's language conveyed through the guardian. Mara felt overwhelmed yet honored, knowing she had been chosen to witness this communion, recording not only for science but for preservation of an untold living history invisible to the modern world. Suddenly, the cryptid guided Mara outside into a clearing, where the forest challenged her with shifting terrain, moving roots, and subtle illusions testing her focus and respect. The harmonic pulses intensifying, Mara stepping carefully while recording every observation, her heart syncing with the jungle rhythm, the air electric with anticipation, and she realized that every test was teaching patience, humility, and understanding, showing that the jungle's ancient guardians did not seek to harm but to ensure that only worthy humans could witness their hidden world without disrupting its delicate balance. After hours of tests, the jungle calmed, revealing a hidden waterfall cascading into a crystalline pool, bioluminescent fish shimmering as if aware of Mara's presence, the cryptid kneeling near the edge, eyes reflecting golden light. The air now still with serene power, Mara approached reverently, realizing that this sacred sanctuary had remained untouched for millennia, the harmonic resonance now gentle and welcoming, and she understood the immense responsibility she bore as witness to the forest's living memory, carrying lessons of coexistence, preservation, and respect to the outside world. Mara knelt at the pool's edge, touching the water as the cryptid circled around silently, the harmonic vibrations forming a coherent melody she could feel as much as hear, and she pledged to protect the knowledge, the creatures, and the jungle itself, every leaf and root seeming to acknowledge her promise, the ancient energy enveloping both human and guardian, and for the first time, she felt a profound connection to life beyond humanity's understanding, knowing that the stories she would share must convey awe, caution, and the imperative of coexistence with Earth's hidden wonders. As dawn approached, Mara retraced her steps through the jungle, now alive with subtle movements and whispers of creatures unseen, the harmonic resonance gradually fading yet leaving an imprint on her senses, her recordings filled with data, observations, and experiences that transcended traditional science, the cryptid following at a respectful distance, trees and vines seeming to guide her exit, sunlight piercing the canopy in golden rays, the entire jungle appearing to acknowledge her passage. And Mara understood that while she had returned to the human world, part of her spirit remained intertwined with the living memory of the forgotten beasts she had encountered. Back in civilization, Mara reviewed her footage, understanding that the world might never fully comprehend the cryptid and its ecosystem, yet she felt a responsibility to share the wonder and the caution, every frame filled with life unseen by modern eyes, her notes describing intelligence, ritual, and balance. And while most would dismiss the story as myth or hallucination, she knew in her heart that the guardians were real, alive, and silently watching, protecting the forgotten corners of Earth, and she resolved that her research would honor them without exploitation, leaving their sacred spaces undisturbed for future generations to learn humility from. Years later, Mara returned briefly to the jungle's edge, seeing shadows move subtly beyond the trees, feeling the harmonic pulse resonate once more in her chest, understanding that the creatures and the ancient energy had never left, the forest remaining alive and vigilant, the memory of the forgotten beasts embedded in the cycles of life, and she smiled quietly, knowing that humanity had only glimpsed a fragment of Earth's ancient intelligence, while the jungle's guardians continued their silent vigil, teaching respect, patience, and awe for all time, their story continuing without words, woven into every rustle, shadow, and heartbeat of the thriving jungle.